So my Ghanaian friend is accusing some Nigerian youth. My Ghanaian friend is accusing some Nigerian youth. Now, according to this friend, he is saying that fraud-related issues or internet fraud were not being reported among Ghanaian youth until some Nigerian youth started coming into Ghana here in their numbers. And according to him, so he is saying that it is some Nigerian youth who introduced Ghanaian youth into internet fraud. You know, in recent times, Ghana has become the headquarters of fraud, where we've seen FBI coming in, arresting, fraudsters and what have you. And he is blaming Nigerians, most Nigerians, for this. Now, I want to say this, that, internet fraud in Ghana here didn't start today. Okay, internet fraud didn't start today. Fraud activities or fraudulent activities were recorded way back in the early 90s and the late 90s. In the early 90s, there were still, even in the 80s, there were fraud-related issues among Ghanaian youth here. Just that, in recent times, the internet is now accessible to everybody as compared to the olden days, where if you want to hear any news, unless you purchase the newspaper before you can read any news. And during that time, we didn't have the strength to purchase or buy those newspapers. It was our rich uncles and aunties and our parents who were privileged enough to get those newspapers. That is why we couldn't read those news. But in recent times, everybody have access to the internet. So any news that pop up, you can just go to the internet and then read about them. So it is not that fraud-related issues started in recent times in Ghana. It started way back in the early 80s, early 90s, late 90s. There were fraud-related. Iyoko reported fraud-related issues among Ghanaian youth. And as I said, because the internet wasn't accessible to everybody, that is why today you think that, or you might think that maybe there is too much news about internet fraud among Ghanaian youth, and a lot of people are blaming Nigerian youth for teaching Ghanaian youth how to do internet fraud. It is not so. It is not so. They've been fraudulent activities, news about fraudulent activities being reported in the early 80s, 90s, and what have you. So it is not the fault of Nigerian youth. It is never true. Ghanaian youth, most of them or some of them were doing their fraudulent even today. Our old uncles, old aunties, and our old fathers, if they want to be truthful to you, they want to open up to you, they will boldly tell you that most of them were into internet fraud. So, when I heard it, I decided to,